Hello, my name is Martine Akariza and I am a student at Kepler University. As I am finishing my research module, I have conducted research and my topic was the contribution of digital marketing mechanism to the business performance and brand awareness. And my case study was conducted at Airtel Rwanda. So to continue, I'll have the outline, and in this outline, we're going to talk about the introduction. We're going to introduce what the research was about. We're going to state the problem addressed or the problem identified, and we're going to also state the research questions, the research aims, or the research questions that I have used to guide me through my research. And I also incorporate the background information of about the topic research and also the data analysis methodology, the research findings, the discussions and solution, and the conclusions and implication. So, to start, introduction. First of all, digital marketing, you have to understand what digital marketing is. So digital marketing is defined as the tools or the methods that businesses use to present their various aspects or to present the various things or the various products they sell or how they work or how they reach the customers or the potential clients. Some examples of digital marketing methods include social media advertising through websites, use of smartphones or on emails. So all those are the examples of digital marketing or digital services. There are methods or tools that are used to reach out to customers. So, the problem addressed in this research was that the problem that I identified before I started the research was that there is lack of digital marketing methods in businesses, especially in Rwanda. So many businesses are operating, yes, but they are gaining income, yes, but they have not yet discovered the use of digital marketing and how effective it is to their performance or to their brand awareness. So in this research, that was the problem identified. That is the problem that led me to conduct all the research. So the second, in the problem also addressed was the transition from traditional marketing to digital marketing for businesses and the challenges they faced, and also the challenges they faced while transitioning from traditional to digital marketing and how they overcame those challenges. Yes, so this is a graph that illustrates why digital marketing is important to brand awareness or brand performance, as you can see on the screen. So the research questions that guided me through the research were I wanted to know what digital services the customers used. First of all, the customers of Airtel. I wanted to know what type of digital services they used and what like the importance they had or to what extent do they have to their satisfaction as customers of Airtel. And secondly, to what extent does digital marketing path to customer satisfaction. So I had to know if they used these certain digital services, on what level do they, or on what frequency were these services satisfactory to them. And thirdly, I wanted to know how using digital marketing benefited businesses' performance compared to traditional marketing, as you will see in this research. So these are the three research questions or research aims that guided me through my research. So for the background information, these are some of the findings that were found by other scientists before I did my research. These are the findings that I found that were discovered by other researchers on this topic. So first of all, digital marketing, Taiminen and Cargeluto found that digital marketing is important to the performance of business if they want to stay competitive and see their business grow. So This one is one of the of background information, and secondly, digital marketing is beneficial to increase the growth and business brand awareness. This was also a point argued by Gilmore et al. In 2007. And thirdly, digital marketing provides opportunities and the chance of businesses to grow and compete globally and also locally as they navigate the digital marketing. So all this was also a study found by Gilmore and all. So moving on with also the background information. Through this research, I had hypotheses that I had a hypothesis that I had to research about to argue to see if it was true or if it was not true. So my hypothesis helped me through this research, and with also the research question. So hypothesis stated that the use of digital marketing mechanism improves the performance and awareness for random businesses. So this was my hypothesis that I wanted to argue if it was true or not before the research. And my general objective was to evaluate the contribution a digital marketing mechanisms has to business performance and business brand awareness. So moving on, of course, in this research, I had to use data and the methodologies. And the methodologies that I used, I have study design. So in the study design, I used descriptive design. This is the design that helped me to yes, the descriptive design is a design that helped me in this research to know the exact number of people who use of participants who use Airtel services. In this case, if I knew the number of people who use the Airtel services, it would help me to answer my hypothesis. And secondly, the case study design. This is the design that helped me in this research to know to narrow down my to narrow down my population because had to have the neighboring district. So I had to narrow my population down to a government sector so that I can reach my sample size. In this case, I used the case study design. So for my sampling techniques, first of all, I used purposive sampling strategy. This is the kind of strategy that helped me reach out to a specific person who has the specific knowledge in a specific field. And in this case of my research, I had to reach to the director of communications and marketing at Airtel because they had the information that I needed to answer my hypothesis in my research questions. So I used this purposive sampling to reach out to that specific person who had that knowledge in marketing field. And secondly, I used simple random sampling. So this is the technique or this is the sampling technique that helped me select all the people, all the Airtel users, because those are the people that I needed exactly. Those are the people who had answers to my research questions and to my hypothesis. So the Airtel customers they all had the same chance to answer my questions. So that is why I used the simple random sampling. So for my sample size, I had 85 is 85, as you can see on the screen. So this is the methodology and data analysis that I used in this research. So after explaining the data analysis and the methodologies that I used in the research, here are the research findings or the findings that I had that helped me to answer my research questions. So as you can remember, in my research questions, I wanted to know the type of digital services that customers used. And for my research, for my 85 participants, as you can see on the screen, the services that they used that from Airtel, they use to internet bundles. They use the digital services to buy internet bundles. They use also those services to check their balance, of course. And they use those services, of course, to buy airtime, because if they buy airtime through the phones, that means they access the digital services by Airtel. And also they use those services to pay bills. The bills can be TV or water or power, any kind of bills. And of course they use those digital services to access their bank accounts through their phone. And also lastly they use the services to access their mobile money. So these are briefly the research findings from the participants that answered, and 20% of them use internet bundles, 35% of them use balance checking, 25% of them use airtime, 5% of the participants said that they use the digital services to pay bills, and also 5% use it to access their bank accounts, and finally 10% of them use those services to access their mobile money. Continuing with the research findings, I also wanted to know at the frequency at which these services were used. So to know this frequency would help me to know at what extent does digital marketing help to satisfy those customers. So to answer that second research question, the participants answered that they used, it is 52% of them used Airtel services each and every day. And 30% answered that they use those services once a month. 10% answered that they use those services once a week. And 5% answered that they use the Airtel services 3 times a week. And finally, 3% of these participants say that they use the digital services for Airtel 5 times a week. So these are the findings that I had from the participants to answer the research question: to what extent or how these services reach their satisfaction. To continue with the second research question, I had to know what kind of advertisements attracted these customers to attracted them to use digital services instead of traditional services. So from the findings, the advertisements that impacted the customers the most. So from the findings, you can see that social media has a bigger percentage of how these digital services impact the customers. As you can see, the following are also automated messages are have the bigger percentage of 98%. So the customers, the participants answered that they usually see the ads, or they are reminded to buy airtime, or they're reminded to buy specific bundles or internet bundles through their phones. So that is the advertisements that attracts them the most. And secondly, social media. Social media, of course, they can see ads by Airtel, maybe on Instagram or on Twitter or on Facebook. So that is also one of the advertising techniques that Airtel uses to attract the customers. And also the billboards at a level of 45%, and also the promotions at a level of 25%, and also TV and radio at a level of 58%, as you can see on the findings that was found here. So this specific finding helped me to know uh, the extent at which the digital marketing satisfied the customers. So, and I can say that the percentage is showing how the customers use or the advertisements that attracts them the most. So it is not 100%, and the reason why it is not 100% is because customers answered that they still use traditional marketing using billboards, as you can see on the screen, and they also like to use traditional ways of accessing Airtel services. For instance, they have to go to the agent in person and buy airtime in person, and not specifically buy it from the phone. So this is why the findings does not show that it is 100%. So of course, in the research, I had to know the challenges the customers feel while using these services. So as the research graph shows, so the participants answer that they have poor connectivity. So 25% of the participants say that they they meet poor connectivity while using those services. 15% answer that there is a poor quality of ads, that they cannot access. The ads are not explainable, or they are poor, they're not understandable. And 45% of the participants, which is the bigger percentage in this finding, they answer that there is uh, the price of data is expensive. So they all of them cannot access this kind of services because some of them are expensive. So with that being said, the bigger percentage say that the services are expensive, so they choose not to use those services, or they choose to use services that are cheaper. Or for instance, if per month, um, what participants say that they buy data bundles a month, which is 10,000, and 10,000 is a lot of money, so they choose to buy fewer services maybe per week. They buy a bundle per week, which is 500, instead of buying a monthly data, which is 10,000. So, and 15% of the participants answer that they need poor customer care. And going to the list of the research findings, to answer the third research question, which is how customers transition from digital services to traditional services and its advantages. So as you can see from the finding, 10% 10% of the advent of using 10% of the participants say that using digital services uh, reduces slow access, and 5% say that the slow payment, the traditional services the traditional services cause slow payment because it's traditional. And of course, 50% of the participants answered that using transitioning from tradition to digital services help them to easy customization, or having a specific ads or specific content that is for them, that is easy customization. And 35 of the participants answered that it was cheaper services compared to traditional services. So as the graph shows, the digital services in blue have a better advantage than the traditional services in red. And after going through the research findings, in the discussions, I can answer the hypothesis that said how to evaluate the contribution of digital mechanisms to the brand performance and brand awareness. As we have seen in the research findings, Airtel customers have answered that the 50% has said that by using digital services, they have easy customization and cheaper services. And the first point that we can say here is that digital services such as internet, mobile money, airtime, paying bills, and having access to banking services are some of the digital services that are used, as you have seen in the first research findings, which helps us to answer our first research questions, which asks the type of digital services that are used by customers, and here specifically Airtel customers. And they have answered that they use internet, mobile money, buying airtime, paying bills, and having access to their bank accounts. Secondly, to answer the second research question, which was the extent at which these services satisfy the customers. So social media ads and automated messages are the most used advertisements that we have seen that satisfy the customers. So we can conclude that these advertisements are the more used, or the ones that attract the customers the most, which also shows how digital marketing contributes to Airtel's performance or Airtel's brand awareness, because the more they use, especially on social media, the more people use these ads, or the more people see these ads, the more Airtel is going to be known by a lot of people, and the more it's going to attract more customers. And lastly, we have seen in the research findings how this digital marketing maximizes easy customization and cheaper services compared to traditional marketing. We have seen how 50% and 35% of the customers, of the participants, answered that they can now have their own products directed to them and specifically segmented for them, which is easy customization, and also it is cheaper for other participants who answer that is cheaper services compared to traditional marketing, which consisted of a slow payment and also poor connectivity. So, in conclusion of this discussion is that it answers our hypothesis, which in the beginning stated that asked if the digital services contributed to the brand awareness and brand performance of Airtel, and also answered our research questions. And to conclude, we have seen how digital marketing contributes also to businesses' growth and performance, especially for Airtel Rwanda, which is our case study. In our case study, we have seen the findings that customers prefer to use digital services than traditional services because, first of all, it is easy to use, there is easy customization, there is cheaper services, and there's also a fast connectivity or fast payment if they want to pay for something specific. We have also seen how these services satisfy customers than traditional marketing, because we have seen the percentage of participants answer that the advertisements or the social media ads are the more used than the traditional marketing, which are billboards and TVs and radios. So the percentage of participants answer that the social media advertisements, 98 of the 98 of the participants answered that social media and automated messages were better than billboards and TVs and radios. And also, the digital marketing is profitable to businesses than traditional marketing. Of course, as we have seen in the presentation, in the findings, we have seen how digital marketing is profiting to businesses, especially Airtel Rwanda, to profit, to gain more customers, to gain more potential, of course, more potential clients, than digital marketing, as they transition from digital to traditional to digital marketing. And lastly, the transitioning to digital marketing is the right decision for businesses which are eager to grow their customers and brand. And finally, this is the point that answers the third research aim, which asks how transitioning from traditional to digital marketing impacts or benefits or profits brand awareness. In this case, digital marketing has been helpful to Airtel because they have gained a bigger audience and a bigger clientele. And from the participant answers, they prefer to use digital services more than traditional services, as the findings also have shown. So, lastly, this is the works cited of the work of the research.